Okay, here is the capacitor flashlight. It runs off of 5 volts DC. I wouldn't recommend you doing it from USB for it since you need lots of current to charge the capacitors. Because the capacitors act like a big load at first and will draw a lot of current until they're fully charged. That's why I have this resistor here, a 4.7 ohm. It doesn't, 15 watt is what I use, but it probably can go lower than that. But I was going for the lowest resistance I can get without being too low in wattage. And 4.7 is the number. Anyway, all the capacitors are 15 farad. That's 15 farad, that's 15 farad, that's 15 farad, and that's 15 farad. They're 2.7 volts. You times that by 2, I think that gives you 5.4 volts. So that means the maximum voltage it needs to go into these capacitors 5.4 again. And my power supply was 5.8. So anyway, I put a diode on there. Even if you're not gonna, the voltage is not too high, you still want to put a diode there just in case you unhook the power supply that charges it, and then when it's not hooked up, it won't discharge the capacitor through the circuitry of the power supply, because the current can't go back through that diode. I did Ohm's law with the LED to get 82 ohms for the series resistor. Well, it's probably, I think it was 85, but 82 is good enough. Because anyway, we turn that thing on, it's going to go to a 4.7 ohm resistor, and that's going to go in series with the 8.2. Because there won't be no power there. So that means that when that switch turns on, it's going to get power from the capacitors, and it's going to go to this resistor here, the 4.7, and it's going to go to the switch in series with a 8.82 ohm resistor. And that there should give you close enough range to want it. In fact, it's close enough range to want it even with it plugged in. Now you're going to see what it does. Right here at the back of it, I put an RCA connector on there because I had a whole bunch of those. And I wanted to use some kind of connector to it that would allow me to easily connect and disconnect the power supply. I didn't put the diode inside the circuit here because I already made it before I think about putting a diode on there. So it's on the cord, it's on the charger cord. The power resistor's in there as well. It was long enough. It was like almost 2 inches long. It was like 1.5 inches long. If you turn there's a switch right here. Had for hot glue in it because I made the hole too a little bit big. And I drilled 2 holes for the LED to come out of. If you took the switch, you see it turns on. And it stays pretty bright for a long time. It'll probably stay on there about an hour or so. But that's better than a minute or a few seconds. Couple minutes. This is because these capacitors, usually capacitors you get from places are usually less than 1 farad. And being 15 farad, that's a pretty high number. Usually they're in microfarads or nanofarads or any of those ranges. And that's what makes them where they hold charges. The fact they're made for this. fact, though, a long time ago, QVC was long time, years ago. They were selling a flashlight that you shake, and it was waterproof too. This, I don't know, is this gonna be water? Well, the water probably won't hurt it, but the thing is, I won't try doing it because there's copper tape in there. I put copper tape with the side of the down the capacitors. The capacitors can fit going up and down, and that's how tall the case is. They're not that big either. Now, if I probably went with the 100 farad, it probably have to go sideways, and it might not fit in this case. Anyway, what you want to do to make sure that this current limiting resistor does not break the diode, or does not overdraw on the power supply, the 5-volt power supply. If it goes over it, when you do ohms law, then that means that you have to choose a little bit higher on resistance. This was okay because it was like 1,500 milliamps, 1,500 milliamps. So it works okay. You can probably put USB on there, but make sure you do not plug it into a computer, because cell phones and stuff like that, before they start drawing the high current, they request for more current to come out of the USB port. So as long as you hook it up to a dumb USB port, I could call it, where it doesn't do no computerized request and communication back and forth before it gets the supplies enough current, then you can probably run off of that. Oh yeah, and I got that one cord from the Hamfest, the cord that goes into there. It come with the other cord I wanted, and I didn't need the other cord that comes in the pack of it. The yellow one was for a digital camera. Then there's one for the video, and there was one for the audio. I needed the audio one, well, not the video one. And the video one had this connector on it, so I decided, man, I'll just use that end on there, just to solder to it to make the power connector, so you can unhook the power supply and take it wherever you want if I have to carry that power supply. It could, this here probably last a few drops of water. It could probably last in the rain, probably. I'm not for sure because there's not that much to it. It's just LED capacitors and a few resistors in there. As long as it doesn't get too wet. But electronics don't usually like water, so it probably shouldn't do it. I wouldn't try doing it, but it probably who knows? It probably wouldn't make a big difference, but I wouldn't try doing it anyway. Put in water. And the capacitors are 2.7 volts each. If I didn't say that, that's what makes it we can input 5 volts on it. You can put more capacitors in series, but then you lose lots of your capacitance. Your capacitance goes down the number of how many times you put them in series. And all the capacitors should be the same value. You shouldn't use different ones. If you do that, the voltage drop on across one of them may not be the same. And it might go a little high and break it. Well, because it won't be evenly dropped. It's like a voltage divider. Almost like a capacitive voltage divider. And I put the ground symbol there, so that goes to the ground to the power supply, all these grounds. Well, there you have it. Did I just record upside down? Oh, never mind, I didn't. There you have it. A capacitive power LED light, and it's pretty bright. And then it cost me that much on let's see how much it cost me. It only cost me $25.49 off of West Florida Components. So there you have it. Thanks for watching. Hope you like it.